The process is complicated. To enhance the Zorathian's strength, agility, and intellect, Cade uses a mixture of human genetic material and advanced cybernetic enhancements. The first batch of enhanced Zorathians is subjected to a series of grueling experiments, designed to push their bodies and minds beyond normal limits. At first, the results seem promising. The Zorathians grow stronger, faster, and more intelligent. The once fragile beings now have the physical power to rival the most fearsome creatures in the galaxy. However, the enhancements come with an unintended consequence. The Zorathians begin to lose their individuality. Their once unique personalities become more uniform as the enhancements start to override their natural instincts. They begin to operate less like beings with their own desires and more like machines, designed solely for combat. Their minds are becoming sharper, but they are also becoming more cold, more distant from the compassionate creatures they once were. As the changes take hold, the Zorathians begin to question who they are. The transformations make them powerful, but they also make them less human. The fear that they may be losing themselves weighs heavily on their minds. "We were weak," says Kale, the elder Zorathian leader, now transformed beyond recognition. "But what are we becoming now?" Captain Lyra Stone watches these transformations with growing concern. She wanted to save the Zorathians, but at what cost? Will they still be the peaceful species they once were, or will they become weapons of destruction, like the Drakari they once feared? Just as the first batch of enhanced Zorathians begins to exhibit signs of transformation, their new strength is put to the test. A small group of Drakari raiders, drawn to the human fleet by the faintest trace of their presence, launches a surprise attack on one of the warships. The Drakari ships move in quickly, their weapons locked on the human fleet. The humans are outnumbered, and their defenses are not enough to hold off the Drakari. It's clear that if the Zorathians don't fight back, they will all perish. Captain Stone, realizing they have no other choice, orders the newly enhanced Zorathians to join the fight. The Zorathians, still adjusting to their newfound abilities, hesitate at first. But the urgency of the situation forces them into action. What follows is a brutal battle. The Zorathians, once helpless and unable to defend themselves, now become a force of nature. With their enhanced strength and agility, they tear through the Drakari raiders with brutal efficiency. They fight with a cold precision that is both terrifying and awe-inspiring. Their newfound abilities allow them to move faster than the eye can follow, taking down Drakari soldiers with ease. No longer the weak, defenseless species they once were, the Zorathians are now fearsome war machines. The humans watch in awe as the Zorathians mow down the Drakari forces. The battle is won, but at a great cost. The humans realize they've created something both incredible and dangerous. They have made the Zorathians into weapons, but in doing so, they may have robbed them of their very soul. "That was too easy," Lieutenant Jana, a human soldier, says as he watches the last of the Drakari fall. "Are we sure this is what we wanted?" Though the Zorathians have proven their worth in battle, there are growing signs that the transformation is starting to take a toll. As they stand victorious, the Zorathians begin to show signs of aggression. Their once peaceful nature has been replaced by an almost primal desire for destruction. They grow restless, their minds clouded by the power within them. Captain Stone, watching from the command deck, feels a deep unease. She knows they've crossed a line. The Zorathians are no longer just the weak species they once were, they've become something else. But are they still themselves? Or have they become mere weapons, stripped of their humanity? One of the Zorathians, now much larger and stronger than before, turns to Captain Stone with cold, calculating eyes. "We are ready for more," he says in a voice devoid of emotion. Stone's heart sinks. "But are you still, you?" she wonders aloud. The screen fades to black as the Zorathian warrior's chilling words echo in the background, "We are nothing but weapons now." The screen cuts to black, leaving the audience in suspense. Have the Zorathians lost everything they were fighting for? Will they be able to control their newfound power, or will they turn into the very monsters they once feared? The transformation has only just begun, and the consequences are far from clear. The Zorathians, now transformed into fierce warriors, stand ready for war. Their once frail bodies have been replaced with power and strength beyond imagination. They are capable of taking on entire alien fleets with ease. However, this new power comes at a heavy cost. As the Zorathians embrace their newfound abilities, they begin to lose control over their emotions. The transformation that was meant to save them has started to turn them into something else, something darker. As the humans prepare for the next stage of the war, they face a growing problem. The Zorathians are struggling to accept their new roles as soldiers. Some question whether they are losing their very humanity. Captain Lyra Stone and her crew are readying themselves for the next battle against the Drakari. The stakes are higher than ever. The humans and Zorathians must work together to defend against the Drakari's ever-growing fleet. But the Zorathians are not the same as before. Their enhanced physical abilities make them formidable, but their mental and emotional stability begins to crack. Among the Zorathians, Talak, once a respected leader of his people, now faces a moral dilemma. Talak struggles to reconcile the transformation with the ideals he once held dear. He remembers a time when the Zorathians fought to protect their world, not as mindless soldiers, but as beings with purpose and values. Now, he fears they have been turned into mere weapons. Talak begins to doubt the humans' intentions. They may have saved the Zorathians from destruction, but at what cost? He worries that they will continue to use them as tools in their war against the Drakari, with no regard for the Zorathians' free will. There is no turning back for the Zorathians, but Talak can't shake the feeling that they are being manipulated. Meanwhile, Captain Stone remains confident that their alliance with the Zorathians is their best chance for victory. She believes that the Zorathians, despite their transformation, can still choose their own destiny. But as tensions rise and doubts spread, it becomes clear that not all the Zorathians feel the same way. The Drakari fleet arrives in full force, launching a massive attack on the human fleet. The battle is intense, with the humans struggling to hold their ground against the overwhelming strength of the Drakari. As the Drakari ships close in, the humans give the order to engage, and the Zorathians take their positions. Talak, now at the forefront of the battle, leads a squad of enhanced Zorathians into the fray. Their newfound strength makes them a terrifying sight. They move with incredible speed and precision, tearing through Drakari soldiers and ship defenses like they are nothing. Their claws, now enhanced with cybernetic upgrades, slash through metal, and their heightened senses allow them to anticipate enemy moves with deadly accuracy. The humans fight alongside them, using their advanced technology and tactics to push back the Drakari forces. The combined strength of humans and Zorathians seems unstoppable. In one part of the battlefield, a group of Zorathians charges headfirst into a line of Drakari warships, dismantling them with brutal force. They tear through the enemy lines, leaving nothing but destruction in their wake. But despite the Zorathians' incredible power, Talak begins to feel the weight of their transformation. As he takes down Drakari soldiers with ease, he notices something unsettling: there's no feeling in the act. The once compassionate leader of the Zorathians has turned into a machine of war, and the realization hits him hard. Is this really who we are now? Talak mutters to himself, the chaos of battle swirling around him. The Zorathians, with their new strength, are winning the fight. But Talak is not sure if they are winning for the right reasons. They are fighting with raw power, but at the cost of their souls. Just as the humans begin to push the Drakari back, Talak makes a shocking move. The battle is far from over, but he can no longer ignore his doubts. In a split-second decision, he abandons the humans and leads a group of Zorathians away from the battlefield. The humans are caught off guard, unsure of what has just happened. Talak's departure sends shockwaves through the human fleet. Captain Stone, watching from her command deck, struggles to comprehend what she's witnessing. She knows the Zorathians have always been on the edge, but she never expected one of their leaders to abandon them. "Talak, what are you doing?" Stone asks in disbelief as she watches him leave the fight behind. Talek begins to doubt the humans' intentions. They may have saved the Zorathians from destruction, but at what cost? He worries that they will continue to use them as tools in their war against the Drakari, with no regard for the Zorathians' free will. There is no turning back for the Zorathians, but Talek can't shake the feeling that they are being manipulated. Meanwhile, Captain Stone remains confident that their alliance with the Zorathians is their best chance for victory. She believes that the Zorathians, despite their transformation, can still choose their own destiny. But as tensions rise and doubts spread, it becomes clear that not all the Zorathians feel the same way. The Drakari fleet arrives in full force, launching a massive attack on the human fleet. The battle is intense, with the humans struggling to hold their ground against the overwhelming strength of the Drakari. As the Drakari ships close in, the humans give the order to engage, and the Zorathians take their positions. Talek, now at the forefront of the battle, leads a squad of enhanced Zorathians into the fray. Their newfound strength makes them a terrifying sight. They move with incredible speed and precision, tearing through Drakari soldiers and ship defenses like they are nothing. Their claws, now enhanced with cybernetic upgrades, slash through metal, and their heightened senses allow them to anticipate enemy moves with deadly accuracy. The humans fight alongside them, using their advanced technology and tactics to push back the Drakari forces. The combined strength of humans and Zorathians seems unstoppable. In one part of the battlefield, a group of Zorathians charges headfirst into a line of Drakari warships, dismantling them with brutal force. They tear through the enemy lines, leaving nothing but destruction in their wake. But despite the Zorathians' incredible power, Talek begins to feel the weight of their transformation. As he takes down Drakari soldiers with ease, he notices something unsettling: there's no feeling in the act. The once compassionate leader of the Zorathians has turned into a machine of war, and the realization hits him hard. Is this really who we are now? Talek mutters to himself, the chaos of battle swirling around him. The Zorathians, with their new strength, are winning the fight. But Talek is not sure if they are winning for the right reasons. They are fighting with raw power, but at the cost of their souls. Just as the humans begin to push the Drakari back, Talek makes a shocking move. The battle is far from over, but he can no longer ignore his doubts. In a split-second decision, he abandons the humans and leads a group of Zorathians away from the battlefield. The humans are caught off guard, unsure of what has just happened. Talek's departure sends shockwaves through the human fleet. Captain Stone, watching from her command deck, struggles to comprehend what she's witnessing. She knows the Zorathians have always been on the edge, but she never expected one of their leaders to abandon them. Talek, what are you doing? Stone asks in disbelief as she watches him leave the fight behind. Talek's decision is not an act of betrayal, at least not in his mind. He believes that the Zorathians must break free from the humans' control before they lose everything that makes them who they are. He's convinced that the only way for the Zorathians to find their true purpose is to fight for their independence, away from the humans and their war. We cannot be tools of war any longer, Talek says as he and his group of defectors fly away from the battle, leaving the humans behind. The screen fades to black, and the audience is left wondering what will happen next. Will Talek's decision tear apart the alliance between the humans and the Zorathians? Can the Zorathians find their own way, or will they spiral further into chaos without the humans' guidance? The fate of the Zorathians hangs in the balance as they break away from their allies, and possibly, their last chance for survival. The aftermath of Talek's defection has left the Zorathian forces in turmoil. A once united front has split into two factions, those who follow Talek's belief that the Zorathians should fight for their freedom, and those who accept their new roles as warriors under human command. The humans now find themselves fighting a war on two fronts, against the Drakari and against the very allies they once relied on. The stakes are higher than ever. Captain Lyra Stone, torn between her desire to save the Zorathians and her duty to the humans, faces a moral dilemma that could determine the future of the galaxy. The rebellion led by Talek has sparked chaos, and the humans must decide how to handle the growing insurgency among the Zorathians. Some see Talek as a hero, others as a traitor. But no matter what, the unity they once had is gone. The battle is no longer just about survival, it's about trust, loyalty, and the soul of the Zorathians. Captain Stone stands on the bridge of the human flagship, staring out into the vastness of space. The once proud alliance with the Zorathians now feels like a distant memory. Talek's defection has torn their ranks apart, and now the humans are fighting a rebellion within their own forces. The Zorathians who followed Talek have launched a series of brutal attacks, waging guerrilla warfare against the humans. Sabotage, ambushes, and sabotage missions have become a common occurrence. As Stone watches the war unfold, she struggles with the decision of how to handle the defectors. She knows that the Zorathians, despite their transformation, still have the potential to be a force for good. But how can she trust them when they're willing to turn against their allies? Her crew is divided. Some believe the defectors should be eradicated before they can do any more damage. Others, including some of the Zorathians who still remain loyal to the humans, argue that the rebellion is just a cry for help, not an act of pure betrayal. The human forces are now caught in a brutal internal war. They must hold their own against the ever-growing threat of the Drakari while also trying to suppress the rebellion within their own ranks. The humans are stretched thin, fighting a war on two fronts with no clear solution in sight. As the tensions escalate, Captain Stone is faced with an impossible choice. Do she continue to try and redeem the Zorathians, or do she treat them as enemies, eradicating them once and for all? The quiet hum of the human warship is broken by the alert of an incoming attack. A group of rogue Zorathians, led by a former soldier named Karen, have infiltrated one of the human fleet's most vital supply ships. Their goal is simple: sabotage the human supply chain and weaken their ability to fight the Drakari. The loyal Zorathians, those who still stand with Captain Stone, are immediately called into action. Lieutenant Benna, a Zorathian who has always fought alongside the humans, rallies her squad to stop the traitors. But as they engage in combat, it becomes painfully clear that the Zorathians have changed. No longer are they the weak beings who relied on others for protection. They've become ruthless, efficient, and, in some cases, merciless. In the heart of the chaos, Captain Stone leads a small strike team to stop the rogue Zorathians before they can complete their sabotage. The sounds of blaster fire echo through the ship's corridors as humans and Zorathians fight side by side once again, but now it feels like a shadow of their previous unity. Every step forward feels like a battle of wills, against the Drakari, against each other, and against the growing fear that they might be losing everything. During the intense firefight, Stone is confronted by Karen, one of Talek's most trusted lieutenants. He's a fierce opponent, a Zorathian warrior enhanced by human technology, and he's determined to finish his mission. As the two face off in a narrow hallway, Karen challenges Stone's belief that the Zorathians can still be saved. "You think you can control us, Captain?" Karen sneers, his eyes burning with anger. "You think we'll just fight your war? You've turned us into tools, nothing more." Captain Stone, panting from the struggle, stares back at him. "You've lost your way, Karen. This isn't freedom. This is chaos. We can't go down this path." In a final, desperate move, Stone overpowers Karen and manages to subdue him. The fight, though physically exhausting, highlights just how far the Zorathians have fallen. They may be stronger than ever, but their hearts and minds are torn between their past and their future. As the last of the rogue Zorathians are either captured or driven off, Captain Stone orders a full sweep of the ship. Karen is brought aboard the bridge, shackled and defiant, his eyes burning with the conviction that the humans are his enemies. "You think I'm a traitor?" Karen spits, his voice laced with hatred. "You've made us into monsters, Captain. There's no going back from that. And Talek, he's right. We should never have trusted you." Stone looks at Karen, her mind racing. The tension between them is palpable. She knows that Karen, like Talek, has fallen victim to the power of the transformation. He's been consumed by the very strength they gave him. But can he still be saved? Her crew, standing silently around her, awaits her decision. Should they kill Karen, to prevent any more rebellion from spreading, or should they attempt to redeem him, to show the Zorathians that there's still hope for their future? Captain Stone's mind is in turmoil. The rebellion is growing, and every choice she makes brings them closer to a point of no return. Her hand hovers over Karen's fate as the tension on the bridge grows. Will the humans destroy the Zorathians who have gone astray, or will they find a way to bring them back from the brink? As the screen fades to black, the fate of both the humans and the Zorathians hangs in the balance. The rebellion continues, and the line between hero and villain blurs more than ever. What will be the final cost of the Zorathians' transformation? Only time will tell. With Talek imprisoned, the humans now face an impossible choice: offer the rogue Zorathians a final chance at redemption or leave them to continue their rebellion. But the Drakari are closing in, and time is running out. The fate of the galaxy depends on whether the humans can unite the Zorathians or if their fractured alliance will be their undoing. With the Drakari's fleet approaching fast, the humans know that if they don't act soon, they'll be wiped out. As the countdown to battle begins, the humans' last hope is a group of Zorathians who are struggling with their new, monstrous power. Captain Lyra Stone stands in front of Talek, who has been shackled and brought before her. The once mighty leader of the Zorathians, now a prisoner, has been through countless battles and struggles. The once proud warrior, now a shadow of his former self, stares defiantly at the humans who captured him. Talek, Captain Stone says, her voice firm but laced with regret, "I know you believe the Zorathians have been betrayed. But this is our chance to fight together. You and your people have the strength to change the future. Fight with us, and we can end this war." Talek, his mind still clouded with anger and betrayal, looks away. He knows that the transformation is irreversible. He's no longer the same Zorathian he once was. The strength he has now is both a gift and a curse. His thoughts are consumed by the fear that they are just pawns in a galactic war, tools used by the humans for their own gain. But deep down, he knows the truth: the Drakari's forces are overwhelming, and if they don't fight together, they will all perish. "I'll do it," Talek finally admits, his voice heavy with the weight of his decision. "I'll fight with you. But this will be my last battle. There is nothing left for me. We are no longer Zorathians, Captain. We are war machines." Stone nods, a sense of relief washing over her. She knows that by accepting Talek's offer, she's taking a huge risk. The rebellion among the Zorathians is not over, but this is the only chance they have to unite their forces. The humans and Zorathians must now join forces for one final assault on the Drakari's flagship, the heart of their empire. As the countdown hits its final moments, Talek charges forward, detonating explosive charges to breach the core. The explosion rips through the Drakari flagship, sending shockwaves throughout the ship. Talek's sacrifice ensures that the humans and Zorathians will have the victory they so desperately need, but it costs him everything. As the ship begins to collapse, the humans make their escape, but the loss of Talek weighs heavily on them. The Zorathians, once pawns in a game of war, now stand as proud warriors, free from the manipulation of others. Talek's death marks a turning point, not just for the humans, but for the entire galaxy. The Zorathians have proven that they are no longer tools, they are their own force, with their own future to shape. As the episode ends, the fate of the galaxy hangs in the balance. The humans have won the battle, but the war is far from over. Will the Zorathians rise to claim their place in the galaxy, or will they forever remain a race caught between the past and the future? Only time will tell. The Drakari have been defeated, their once feared empire shattered. But victory has come at a high price. The galaxy, once under the heel of the Drakari, now lies in ruins. Entire planets are in chaos, their governments broken, their resources drained. The humans and the Zorathians have won the war, but they are left with the daunting question, what now? For the Zorathians, the defeat of the Drakari means freedom. No longer are they slaves, no longer are they war beasts created for the sole purpose of destruction. But as they stand on the precipice of a new era, they must ask themselves what kind of future they want. Can they reclaim their lost identities? Can they find peace after so much violence? And for Captain Lyra Stone and her crew, the victory is bittersweet. The Zorathians have proven their worth, but the cost of turning them into warriors, turning them into something they never were, lingers in the air. The humans, too, must now confront the consequences of their actions and what it means for their future with the Zorathians. The dust of battle may have settled, but the galaxy is far from at peace. In the wake of Talek's heroic sacrifice, the Zorathians are left to rebuild, but their future is uncertain. They no longer have a leader like Talek to guide them, and their minds and bodies have been forever altered. Some of the Zorathians embraced their new identities as protectors of the galaxy. They see themselves as a new race, reborn from the ashes of their past, ready to defend those who cannot defend themselves. But not all Zorathians are so ready to accept their new reality. Many of them still carry the emotional scars of their transformation. The changes to their minds and bodies have left them questioning who they are. Are they still Zorathians, or have they become something else entirely? Some of them miss the simpler days before their bodies were altered, before they became living weapons. Others struggle with the guilt of the violence they've committed and the lives they've taken. They cannot forget the brutality they were forced to endure or inflict. Captain Stone, now regarded as a hero by the humans, watches over the rebuilding of the Zorathian society. The humans, too, are left grappling with their role in the transformation. They know they've created a powerful, capable species, but at what cost? Were they right to play God with the Zorathians' lives? And, perhaps most troubling of all, is the galaxy ready for the Zorathians' power, or will it see them as a threat? As tensions rise, the Zorathians must make a decision: can they unite under their new purpose, or will their internal struggles tear them apart? Just as the Zorathians begin to find their footing, a new threat emerges. A group of rogue alien forces, taking advantage of the chaos left by the Drakari's fall, have begun to attack the newly established colonies. These aliens are not as organized as the Drakari, but they are desperate and ruthless. They seek to plunder the galaxy's remaining resources, exploiting the power vacuum created by the Drakari's defeat. The humans and Zorathians must once again come together to face this new challenge. But this time, things are different. The Zorathians are no longer the weak, enslaved species they once were. They are now fully in control of their enhanced abilities. With their transformation complete, they no longer struggle with their power, they wield it with precision. Captain Stone leads the charge, but it is the Zorathians who take the forefront. The battle erupts with ferocity. The rogue aliens, though numerous, stand no chance against the Zorathians' newfound strength and skill. The Zorathians fight with a sense of purpose and pride that was absent during the war against the Drakari. They are no longer fighting to survive, they are fighting to protect, to defend the peace they've fought so hard to achieve. Talek's sacrifice still looms large in their minds, and his legacy fuels their drive to protect the galaxy he helped save. The Zorathians tear through the enemy forces with brutal efficiency, their power now fully realized. The humans, once again by their side, support them with advanced technology and tactics, but it is the Zorathian strength and determination that tip the scales in their favor. The battle is intense. The skies are filled with explosions as orbital bombardments strike the alien forces, while Zorathian warriors engage in hand-to-hand combat with alien invaders. The colony is on the brink of being overrun, but the Zorathians, led by their newfound sense of unity, fight back fiercely. As the final alien forces are pushed back, Captain Stone surveys the battlefield. The Zorathians, who were once considered the weakest species in the galaxy, now stand as the strongest guardians of peace. They have proven themselves to be more than just tools of war. They have earned their place in the galaxy, not just as soldiers, but as protectors of life and freedom. But as the dust settles, Captain Stone knows that this victory, while hard-won, is only temporary. New threats are on the horizon, and the galaxy is still far from stable. The Zorathians may have found their place in the universe, but their true test has only just begun. As the episode ends, the camera pans over the weary but triumphant Zorathians, their faces reflecting the weight of what they've endured. The humans stand beside them, their alliance now stronger than ever, but there is still uncertainty in the air. What will the future hold for these two races who have fought so hard to survive? The galaxy may be at peace, for now, but Captain Stone knows that the calm before the storm is always the most dangerous time. New enemies are out there, waiting to strike. And the Zorathians, once the galaxy's most hopeless species, will have to prove that their transformation into protectors is not just a one-time victory, but the beginning of a new chapter for all races in the galaxy. The galaxy, once torn apart by war, is finally experiencing a fragile peace. The Drakari are defeated, their empire dismantled, and their oppressive rule over the galaxy has crumbled. The Zorathians, the species that was once seen as weak, enslaved, and nothing more than tools of war, are now at the center of this new era. They've proven themselves as powerful warriors, capable of standing alongside the humans in defending the galaxy. But as the dust settles and the first rays of hope begin to shine, a new question arises: what happens when a species that was once considered weak becomes so powerful that no one can control them? The Zorathians have evolved, not only physically but mentally and emotionally. With their new strength and newfound sense of identity, they have become a force to be reckoned with. They no longer fear being enslaved, but now they must grapple with the responsibility of their power. Will they continue to be protectors of peace, or will they be tempted to rise above others, challenging the balance they fought so hard to preserve? Captain Lyra Stone and her crew know that the future of the galaxy is uncertain. The peace they've fought for is fragile, and the Zorathians' place in this new order has yet to be fully defined. As the humans and Zorathians look toward the future, they must confront not only the challenges of rebuilding but also the complex dynamics of a galaxy that may not yet be ready for the Zorathians' power. As the war-torn galaxy begins to heal, the Zorathians take on a new role. They are no longer just soldiers in a battle for survival, they are becoming integral parts of the galaxy's future. Their enhanced abilities make them perfect candidates to protect the weaker species of the galaxy, those who are still struggling to rebuild after the fall of the Drakari. With the help of the humans, the Zorathians work to ensure peace, offering their strength and protection to those in need. The Zorathians begin forging alliances with other planets, using their power to act as guardians, helping those who cannot defend themselves. Their once shattered society begins to reform, and they start to reclaim their lost culture and history. No longer seen as the galaxy's weakest species, the Zorathians are now viewed as saviors, warriors who have chosen to use their power for good. However, this newfound power brings its own set of challenges. While many Zorathians embrace their new roles, some question whether their species has been forever changed. The internal struggle continues: can they remain true to their original identity, or have they become something else entirely? Their enhanced physical abilities are undeniable, but what of their souls? Are they still the same beings they once were, or are they now something far more dangerous? Captain Stone and the humans stand by the Zorathians, knowing that their strength, together, is what will ensure the peace they've fought so hard for. The bond between the two species has grown stronger with each passing day, but the future is still uncertain. The Zorathians must navigate the complexities of their new role, and the humans must learn to trust their new allies, despite the power they now wield. Captain Lyra Stone, standing alone in the quiet of the memorial chamber, reflects on the journey that has brought them all to this moment. Before her stands a monument, a symbol of sacrifice and loss, Talek's memorial. Talek, the leader who had once been a symbol of resistance, had sacrificed everything for the greater good. His death marked the turning point for the Zorathians, and his legacy lives on in the strength of his people. Captain Stone's thoughts are heavy as she gazes at the memorial. She recalls the first time she met Talak, a warrior torn between his loyalty to his people and his distrust of the humans. She remembers the fierce battles they fought together, the pain of losing so many comrades, and the moment Talak made the ultimate sacrifice to destroy the Drakari flagship. Talak's death was a devastating blow, but it also marked the beginning of a new chapter for the Zorathians. Without him, they might never have found the strength to embrace their new identity. As she stands there, Captain Stone understands that the galaxy is in better hands now. The Zorathians have become more than just soldiers, they have become protectors of peace, a powerful force for good. But the cost of their victory was high. Talak's death, the transformation of the Zorathians, and the countless lives lost along the way are sacrifices that cannot be forgotten. The peace they have now is not without its scars, but it is a peace worth fighting for. Stone's heart is heavy with the weight of those sacrifices, but there is also a sense of pride. The Zorathians and humans have forged an unbreakable bond, one that will shape the galaxy's future. The future may be uncertain, but one thing is clear, the galaxy belongs to those who were once forgotten. As the camera lingers on Captain Stone, her gaze lingering on Talak's memorial, she softly speaks the words that have defined this journey. From weakness came strength, from slaves came saviors, the galaxy now belongs to those who were once forgotten. These words echo in the silence, a testament to the journey the Zorathians and humans have taken together. They are no longer the galaxy's forgotten, but the galaxy's guardians. The camera pulls back, showing the vast expanse of the galaxy before them. The future is uncertain, but one thing is clear, the Zorathians have found their place in the universe. And with the humans by their side, they will shape the future together.